Right now to Ondo State, where the International Widows Day has again underscored the need to give special attention to their welfare and prioritize their needs. This came to the fore at a program organized by the Ondo State government, where over 400 widows went home with cash reward of 50,000 naira each. Senior reporter Ayodeji Murade reports.
For many of these women, widowhood comes with pain, hardship and loneliness, compounded by economic hardship and lack of adequate support. This 60-year-old woman, Odere Eniola, lost her husband 3 decades ago. Since then, life has been a daily struggle to survive.
Here and there, I was teaching before in the primary, nursery and primary school, but there is nothing. They won't pay in time, and to pay house rentage and care for the children is not easy. Then I leave that. I started going to farm.
She's not alone. Another widow, Dupe Ajayi, who lost her husband 10 years ago, shares a similar tale of endurance in the face of hardship. To commemorate this year's Widows' Day, the Ondo State government empowered 400 widows with 50,000 naira each, a move aimed at easing their burdens.
To receive this training.
Speaking at the event, the special advisor to the Governor on Women Affairs, Seun Osamaye, said the initiative is part of efforts to prioritize the welfare of widows across the state.
And women drawn across Ondo State, over 400 of them. You can see them. They are physically present to be trained in different programs in the making of confectionaries like meat pie. After the training, we go home with a cash grant of 50,000 naira each. This money is to empower them to start as a startup capital.
The representative of the state governor said the event is specially designed to meet the yearnings of widows.
So they need to make use of it. Either start a small scale business that can bring them more profit, or utilize it to do better things.
Make sure that they are being cared for. Once the governor of Ondo State is trying as much as possible to strengthen the women in Ondo State.
This gesture coming from the government to the widows is commendable, but observers believe that more should be done to cater for the widows. Ayodeji Murade, TVC News, Akure.
And joining me on the news for more on this is the special advisor to Governor of Ondo State on Women Affairs, Dr. Seun Osamaye. Good to have you join us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So it's quite interesting to see Ondo State pay attention to widows, which is something that isn't common anymore these days. And when we talk about the vulnerable, we hardly mention them. What led to this particular initiative, and what has been what was the impact that it made?
Well, thank you so much. I would say that the attention to focus on the widows, the most vulnerable women among us this time around, stemmed from Mr. Governor, the Ondo State Governor, His Excellency Dr. Lucky's agenda of identifying the vulnerables, ensuring there is inclusion in governance, especially making social impact and ensuring that most of these vulnerable women have access to grants that can make them economically viable, economically sustainable, and economically empowered. This year's theme, this year 2025 International Widows Day theme, is empowering widows, building resilience and restoring dignity. Looking at that theme focuses attention on ensuring that these women, most of these widows, as a result of their losses of their husbands, have faced extreme poverty. They have faced extreme discrimination. They have been stigmatized. Most of them have even lost means of livelihood. So what we have done in Ondo State is not just to identify with them, to celebrate with them, but also to encourage them and motivate them. And the choice of choosing to train them in different skills is also to prove to them that with a startup capital of 50,000 naira, as approved by the Govt of Ondo State, can ensure that they are able to sustain themselves by taking care of their children. So honestly, I would say kudos be given to the governor of Ondo State for this great initiative. Not until these women...
If I may come in quickly, I understand that it's a very laudable initiative to provide empowerment where they can now feed themselves. But some would say that basic issues, which, fundamental issues like their rights and, issues of injustices to these women are hardly dealt with. And I just wanted to ask you as well, what is Ondo State doing to ensure, in terms of policy formulation, the legal framework in the states to ensure that these women do not suffer from injustices and denial of their rights?
Honestly, I would say that Ondo State is one of the states that has domesticated the VAB law, and we currently have an agency, the Ondo State Agency Against Gender-Based Violence, and that's our focus not only on women, but specifically on women that are vulnerable, especially the widows and even the teenagers. I want to say specifically that we've been doing a lot when it comes to policy formulation to ensure that widows in Ondo State are taken care of, number one. That's why statistics across the country most of the time do not show that women from Ondo State, widows from Ondo State, have some of these cases compared to other states that we can easily point to suffering from discriminations, suffering from violence by their in-laws after they must have lost their husband. That's because government attention is focused on taking care of these widows, not only on their social welfare, but ensuring that they have access to their rights, their fundamental human rights are taken care of. So I want to say that we will
continue to follow through what Ondo State is doing in terms of, ensuring the welfare of the vulnerable. But we have to leave the conversation there. Thank you so much for your time. The special advisor to the governor of Ondo State on women affairs, Dr. Seun Osamai.